Hello and welcome to today's video, my YouTube channel Plastic Industry. Today we will discuss about 5 rules before starting a business. This will make your business absolutely fail-proof. Why it is so? Let us understand in details. This is a disclaimer. Well, before you venture into any kind of business as an entrepreneur, it calls for years of planning. If you don't have years in hand, you have to set a particular time frame within which you have to complete all your planning meticulously in details, taking help from your peers, your relatives, your well-wishers, your mentors, everybody, whosoever is available. And then you have to venture into any kind of business. If you do that exercise fast, planning meticulously, chances are your business will never fail. Now, most business fail in their first 2 years. There are 5 golden rules which one must follow before venturing or starting into a business, getting into a business, because if you do that right, your business will take shape, it will grow, it will prosper, it will give you a lot of freedom, a lot of earnings, a lot of satisfaction as an entrepreneur. But if you don't follow these 5 golden rules, which most of the entrepreneurs usually don't do, then their businesses fail. We hear about business which are successful. We hear about business which has become unicorn. We hear about startups which has secured investments from various sources. But apart from these successful ones, these are handful ones. There are many such investors, many such enterprises, many such businesses which takes birth. But after that, where it vanishes, where it goes, nobody knows, because nobody is going to announce their departure from the business. So hardly anyone notices. But if you go through governments, if the business is registered with government agencies, you will have the data available with you. You can get this data and find out what is the percentage of successful business enterprises in our country. We are talking about India. We are focused on Indian market. So let us understand Indian scenario better. Now, no one can stop you achieving success if you follow these 5 golden rules. First of all, you have to plan well before you start a business. As I told you earlier, remember, anyone can dream big. It's very easy to dream big. I will achieve whatever. But a dream without any action is of no use, and those who persevere win big. So, perseverance is the key. It's not very easy. It calls for every day your effort, your latching on, your hanging on, your consistency, your not getting demoralized. Many things are involved. So let's dive into the 5 rules every entrepreneur must know. Rule 1. First of all, think ahead. Your foresight matters. You think ahead at least 5 to 10 years in advance what is going to happen. You just try to imagine those scenario, considering current scenario, current possibilities. So don't just copy what others are doing. There is a tendency in business houses specifically. Not every community in India, unfortunately, is a business community. Why do we call people or a community business community? Because there, everybody thinks about business right from the day one in their life. Well, when you are a baby, you cannot think about anything yourself. But the idea of business is gradually inculcated in your mind in such a manner by your surroundings, by your parents, grandparents, relatives, everybody around you, school, everywhere you go, you think about business, you talk about business, you do anything related to business. So it is there imbibed in your brain, in your system. So naturally, they will never ever think of going into the job market to seek for a job, and they maximum numbers they end up being a businessman. Whether successful or not successful, that's a different scenario. We will come back to that later. They are known as business communities, but it doesn't necessarily mean that other communities cannot do business. Well, they are surrounded by people who always advise them to look for a better job opportunity, prospect, etc. But there are people in those communities as well who thinks that they would like to fly like a free bird. Employment is just like a caged bird with all facilities available, but your freedom is lost. You don't have any freedom in employment. But in business, of course, risks are enormous, but that offers you business, that offers you freedom to live your life the way you wish. Now, in business community, particularly, we see that what the other guy is doing, what our relative is doing, what this fellow is doing. Let us go and find out and copy that, because since they are earning money, that means the business is good, and let's copy that. So, just copying others, what they are doing, it's not going to save you. It's not going to earn you anything. It is not going to make you successful. It is never going to make you successful. So what you should do is look for opportunities that are in high demand, but supply at the moment is low. So rule number one continued. Here we see first, what should you do? Let us take some examples like known companies providing services. Let's say WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter. They're very strong brands in social media. None of them invented chatting. Chatting used to be there even before their arrival. Networking used to be there even before their arrival. They have changed the way we chat. They have invented the way we chat today. They have invented the way we share our data today, our everything today, whatever we would like to, and how we can digitally network, that they have taught us. And in the process, they have made our life easy. So they simply created a better way to do it. And when you have a better way to do it, then you will love it. You would like to take that particular service from that service provider, or the product from the company who is selling it. So that is how it has become very successful worldwide, and they have generated so much of business. So ask yourself, ask yourself, what unique twist can I bring to the table? That's your winning idea. So, rule 2, create monopolies. Venture into a business with some ideas. As you have said, I have said in rule number 1, that ask yourself, how can I make a difference? So the idea is already conceived. Let me assume now here, with that particular idea, can you create a monopoly? Let's find out. Think outside the box. This particular word you might have seen n number of times, but it has got a meaning, it has got a relevance, it has got a significance. That is why it is being uttered so many times, and it will be in the past it had happened, in future also it will be uttered like this. Anything. Now think out of the box. Why? Because you have to create a monopolistic business. A business which offers products and services to the maximum value addition, with best possible offerings and quality and service holistically. That is what is required. And a business or service which nobody else or hardly anyone even thought of, even yet to think of. Can I find out any such option available with me, so that when I come up with this idea, it has to click? Because anyway, it is going to change the lives of people, its consumers, its users, and that is how it will become successful. Customer love business that give them choice, value, uniqueness, right? You have to give them choice. You can't say, I only have this. You have to think rationally. You have to observe them. You have to find out. You have to study business. You have to study customers' behavior and demand. So you do that before venture into something. Once the idea is conceived, then you are doing all this groundwork. So customers will have their choice. You have to give multiple choices to them. If you don't like this, then I have this, and then I have this, and then you have to be very flexible, depending upon the volume of customer and the category of customer. Now, you have to add value and you have to give uniqueness. That is how you can create a monopolist, at least for the time being. Now there will be copycats, so let's forget about it. Now, your goal should be to offer something that no one else has thought of yet. This is how you stand out in a crowded market. You have to stand out anyway. You cannot be some Tom, just a Tom, Dick, and Harry. You cannot be, one more guy is also selling. No, that is how business cannot be successful. So now let's move on to rule number three. Rule number three tells us that never argue with your customer. It's not a place to argue. It's a place to offer value and make money. Get your payment, get your profit, generate your profit. It's not a place to argue. Understand why he's shouting, why he's arguing, what is the pain behind that argument. You cannot be simply fighting with your customer. That's not the game. Second, business is not about winning debates. We are not here to win debates. Three, it's about making life easier. That's most important. Your job is to understand customers' need and to make his life easier than what he is leading today. Then only you will get attracted. Then only he will offer you business. Now, focus on providing a solution that perfectly solves his or their problem. Try. It may not be 100% foolproof, but when you give an impression that you have tried to give you a solution rather than focusing upon the points of arguments, points of misunderstanding or differences. Work towards solution to help him out. He will be your man. He will be your customer. He will be your customer. Of course, yes. So, customer comes first. We have heard a number of times customer is king, customer is everything, customer first. Rule number three. Rule number three continues the easier you make their life, the faster your business will grow. Remember, a satisfied customer brings you 10 more because of his satisfactory comments. Your goodwill will spread like anything. Nobody else can do that except your customer who has already experienced firsthand your products and services. Now, but a frustrated one will go and tell n number of people, never ever go to the never ever go to this fellow, go to this company, go to this service provider. They are not good. They will simply run away when you need them most. So try to build a relationship with customer. Try to get a satisfact. Try to get a satisfied customer as far as possible. Now, what is rule 4? Learn before you scale. You just cannot start a company of very high with a very high level of investment, huge setup, everything huge. No, man, you should not. First, you learn the game, understand the game before you scale up. So, represented by a picture here, wherein I wanted to tell you that before you take the roads, walk, run, cycling, and then gradually you go on, upscale yourself to other versions of commuting. Enjoy your ride, enjoy your travel, enjoy your ride, enjoy your travel. But start slowly, start with least possible investment. Now, don't jump into 10 store at once. Say for example, you are going to sell something out of your store. Set up only one, and that to a smaller one. In a market where you have reasonable amount of footfall but investment, keep that on the lower side. Understand the market, understand the game, understand the business, get a feel of it, spend enough time there, learn every bit of it, do everything, try to do everything yourself at least once, if not multiple times. So starting small is the key. Then we have maybe just one store in your local market. Understand how things work, learn customers' behavior, and then expand step by step. Next comes business is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you have to have patience. Okay? Now, keep your risk low and your learning high in the early days of your entrepreneurial journey. Now, rule 5. What does it say? Prepare your mindset and resources to handle them. It's understood. Now, for the first 2 years, reinvest your earnings into the business. Don't expect overnight profits. If you exhaust your profits, your capital will never grow. And if the capital doesn't grow, how can your business grow? It will never grow. And the best capital is from your own sources, own resource, own generated money, not from borrowed from somebody else. That's not a better option. The best capital is to be from your own pocket. You have generated and from that business. So if you lose, you are losing your own earned profit. You are not answerable to anyone. You will never lose. Let me assure you. Nobody likes to lose. You will also not. Why? A smart entrepreneur knows that short-term loss often leads to long-term gain. Loss is part of the game. That is what you must understand. But here is the key. Take calculated risk in business. Learn from your first mistake and correct yourself. Never repeat the same mistake ever. Else, I'm assuring you, whosoever does or commits the same mistake twice, thrice, 4 times, many times, he is definitely going to be on the road for sure. He will exhaust his everything. Never repeat the same mistake ever else. You will be on the road and keep that in mind. Mitigate your risk as far as practicable, as far as possible, so that even if you lose, you can handle it. Handle it well because you have already made your mind set that maybe there is a risk I may lose. But even if I lose, I will not lose much and I will learn maximum from that loss. You will never lose, let me tell you. But take risk. Biggest risk in life is not to take any risk. So you have to take calculated, well mitigated risk in your life. And then if your business generates even 80% profit after the initial struggle, you are already ahead of the competition. Now, what is rule number 5? Rule number 5 says, rule number 5 says, follow these 5 rules religiously, always, consistently, daily, and achieve success. So, to recap, first you think ahead, foresightedness. Innovate, focus on the customer, scale wisely, slowly and wisely. Embrace losses. Okay, I understand as lessons. These are lessons. Follow these five rules, and your chances of success will multiply. Now, if you have found this useful, hit that like button, subscribe, share this with someone who is about to start their own business. Remember, success is not luck, it's a strategy, well planned strategy. Now, with the end screen, I'm going to tell you why you should tell your people, why you should tell your friends, your relatives, your contacts, your network, and ask them. Let them watch my video, let them hear me, let them listen to my words, and then let them come back. Now, why you should subscribe to my channel? You will get plastic industry insights regularly on entrepreneurship and employment opportunities. How it is? I guide people who seek to be an employer. I also guide people who wish to get into job market, starters, entry level job seekers, mid level job seekers, even senior level job seekers are also welcome. With my 35 years of experience in plastic industry, I think I have acquired little bit of knowledge which I am constantly learning from others, and I am trying to accumulate my knowledge, and knowledge only becomes accumulated, knowledge becomes better by sharing. So I'm sharing over various platforms, and this one is just part of that digital platform. So, if you follow my channel, if you follow my page, you are going to get regular advices, regular insights, regular help, and I provide project report for any kind of plastic molding based industry setting up, as well as I help from idea to implementation, and I handhold for setting up an industry in plastics molding segment from idea till implementation, and all the stages. Whenever you need me, you will get me coming back to you with my all acquired expertise and knowledge. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, share, follow, press that bell icon so that when I come up with my next video, you are the right person, you are the first person to have it, intimated. Now, you should ask your customer when you have started your business, you are well into the business for quite some time. Tell us what your customers, colleagues, and your peers are saying. Ask. That feedback is required to make yourself better. If you don't improvise, if you don't update, if you don't make yourself a better version of you, your business will grow, but you will not be able to sustain. First is your challenge: what to start, when to start, and how to start. Once you have started, you know how to sell. Now, when you are selling, you have grown, you have come up to a level, and you are still growing. There are times when there will be a little bit of undulation, but you will grow. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it is our motto, it is our target. Now, when you have grown and you have to maintain that particular level, that is very important. And unless and until you change yourself as per the requirement of the market, you evolutionize, you improvise your products and services. You introduce better products, add-on products, something out of the way, something different from this particular product segment, a line of business. You will not be able to sustain for long. So that is a greater challenge. We will discuss about that in our upcoming videos. But here, follow these five golden rules before you start any venture. And let me assure you, your business will your business will be always fail proof. It will never fail. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.